Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Ernie Hernandez, and today I want to reconnect with God through the exploration of His Word. But first off, I just want to tell everybody thank you for the response that I had for my last video. A lot of people shared, a lot of people wrote to me and commented that they learned a lot from what I went through, and they were very glad that I shared that video. And I'm just thankful that God allowed me to go through that, so I was able to share those things to you guys. If you wanted to check that out, I'll put a link down below and you can watch it if you would like. Today I want to talk about something that is a little bit different, but it's about temptation, and in particular, temptation when it comes to God. First off, let's go directly to the Bible. I found this verse in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. This says something kind of interesting. Let's read it. It says, "Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he himself tempt anyone." What I find so fascinating about this verse is the tail end of that segment there. He himself tempts no one. See, for me, before I was a Christian, I always assumed that God was this tyrannical, terrible, just power-hungry individual kind of keeping us captive here on earth and doing whatever he just felt like doing to us because he could. This verse clearly implies that he doesn't tempt anyone, that he's not the one actually causing people to stumble or putting stumbling blocks in our way. When you go on to read verse 14 of James chapter 1, it says, "But to each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and is enticed." And it continues on and it gets stronger. It says, "And when the desire is conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it's fully grown, brings forth death." Now, before I was a Christian, I had that wrong sense of what I thought God's character was like. And he's most definitely not like that. Scriptures like this, and there's plenty of other examples in the Bible that tell of a different story of what God's true character is like. And when we read in verse 14, James is talking about that the roots of all that evil, the roots of that sin, comes from us, comes from man, comes from humans. And it's only when we have been tempted, and we know that God is not tempting us, so there's somebody else to be tempting us. When we indulge in those things, in those sins, and we cleave to those things, that is the birthplace of where all that evil starts. That is the birthplace of sin. And it's when we follow our own inclinations, our own desires, as James puts it, that's where we start to fall. That's where we start forming the wrong habits. That's where we're listening, not to God, but the enemy of souls. At the end of the day, all the stuff that happens on in this world is our fault. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9, you'll find this quotation, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who could know it?" Our own inclinations, the things we desire in this world and this life, are rooted and tainted by evil, because we live in a fallen world. So the things we long after, things that we want to actually obtain, we want them for all the wrong reasons. And it doesn't matter how we get it or how we obtain it, even if it's at the expense of other people. And truthfully, that's the condition of the heart. It is deceitfully wicked. We long after things that are evil. We long after things that are just simply bad and wrong and unrighteous. It's our own inclination. We can't help it, but that doesn't mean we don't have hope. God has provided everything for us. You see, in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 17, there's another quotation. It reads, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation of shadow of turning." You see, God is with us, and he wants to give us so much more than what we have here on earth. And when we put away those temptations and we put away our own inclinations to follow after desires that are bad, we'll truly see that what the world is trying to offer us is valueless. The only true gifts we can receive needs to come from above. In the book Steps to Christ, there's a wonderful quotation that reads, "The heart of God yearns over his earthly children with the love stronger than death. In giving up his Son, he has poured out to us all heaven in one gift. The Savior's life and death and intercession, the ministry of angels, the pleading of the Spirit, the Father working above and through all, their unceasing interest of heavenly things, all are enlisted in behalf of man's redemption." God has given us everything. He's given us a way out of the sinful world. He wants to change us. He wants to take what we are now and make us better, to make us righteous, and make us whole again, so we can return to the world that we were first born into, a perfect world. And if we somehow get the idea that God is the one causing all these calamities on earth, We are gravely mistaken. God only wants to restore us. He does not want to tear us down. And anything that He's asked us to remove from our life or to change in our life is for our own benefit. The way I see it, the only way temptation is tempting is when we're not drawn close to God. Because God can't be tempted. When we have a character like Him and we are reflecting that same character, then temptation won't have any power in our lives. And all glory be to God because He's the one giving us the power to overcome. Because He first overcame the world. Thank you so much for watching this video and being a part of this. If you've liked this, like, comment, and share. If you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. 81%, I just checked my analytics yesterday. 81% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel. So anytime I put up a new video, you will not know when it goes up. To all my Facebook friends, you guys are in the perfect opportunity to share this video through the newsfeed. If you join anything from this study today, please share it with other people. They can benefit from it too. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in Wednesday's video. And if I don't see you, or if you don't see me really, chances are I'll be at the Savior's feet.